Good morning everyone, my name is Michelle, I hope you're doing well. And in this video we're going to get real. We're going to get really real. I'm going to try not to cuss, but some of the clips that I'm going to show you do have cuss words in, so if you don't like that then I'm just warning you in advance. There's a storm raging that's been raging for days now. We've had so much rain. So much rain. The county north of me apparently has had a month's worth of rain in one day. A little bit further south I don't think we've had it quite as bad, but it's been horrendous, really bad. So I'm staying under the trees. They give me some protection. Certainly we get protection from the wind, but I'm going to have to keep stopping, wiping the lens because of the rain on it. Here we go, you can see again. But this land is just now saturated and completely flooded down here. Let's go and take a look while I talk about the events, the terrible events that have gone on over the last couple of days. So if you've been following the channels on YouTube that have been talking about the disappearance of Summer Wells, then you'll know her father Don was arrested in the early hours of the 31st of October. I think it was just after midnight on the 31st of October. You know, so I saw this and thought, is this a trick? You know, 31st of October, is this a trick or is it a treat? Well, it's neither, but it is real. I mean, look at this. I walked through this the other day, if you remember, and just up there where the trail is meant to be, it got really deep and I nearly fell in. That just shows you just how much the ground can flood in a few days. And like I said, the north of me, rivers have burst the banks, entire villages are flooded. And it's just a few days of rain. That's all it is. And this, once the rain stops, this will go really quickly. It will. Anyway, let's get into the video. I sat back yesterday and just watched what was going on. I didn't comment other than putting on a short video on this channel and then the news clip that announced to the locals in Hawkins County that Don, father of Summer, had been arrested. I put that over on my second channel, Michelle Walks. So go over and check Michelle Walks. I've got a series over there called Crime Stories Sunday. We've got 2 episodes there now, so go and check those out. Yeah, so I sat back and watched, and a lot of creators talking about this, and underlying, you know, the Don Wells and Candus Wells saga is now a lot of drama. You know, there's cliques that are formed, and quite frankly, I just fast forward past all of that. I don't care what's going on between creators. I have no interest in that unless it's relevant and directly relevant to the search for Summer. I take my information from a wide variety of sources, and when I'm looking at reactions to a certain event, then I don't take a side. I'm not on anybody's side. Look at the little creek. This is normally a little creek where the bank is there, and we've got all that flooding now. But quite frankly, don't care what creators are doing behind the scenes between each other. All I'm here for is Summer, that little 5-year-old girl who's been missing since the 15th of June 2021. We're in our 5th month of Summer being gone, as Don calls it. And what I'm scared of at this moment in time is this now becoming a cold case. I don't think it will, but that's maybe me being optimistic. But you know, if some of these rumours that are coming out are true, which I don't believe they are, we'll get into that, then the TBI is working behind the scenes. And I do believe they are working behind the scenes. I do believe they are. But Don Wells has been arrested on 5 charges. Driving in the wrong lane, driving without registration, financial issue, which I think is driving with no insurance, and a DUI, driving under the influence of alcohol. He's been bonded out, but he will obviously have to appear before a judge. Now, what I haven't seen since his arrest is any direct news from Don. I've had a look across all the channels that Don appears on, and I can't see that he's commented anywhere. So I think he's lying low, and quite rightly so, because he should be thoroughly and utterly ashamed of himself. The Find Summer Wells website and the family's YouTube channel put a notice on there saying he'd made a bad decision. That's an understatement. That is an absolute understatement, because he was clearly intoxicated. You know, an hour or so before he actually went out and drove his car whilst he was under the influence of alcohol. He drinks whiskey. He was clearly intoxicated. I'm going to play you the clip from No Thanks Investigates channel where Don appeared with Chris McDonough. Now, allegedly, Doug, No Thanks, had told Don in advance that Chris McDonough was going to be on the panel with Doug, Josh from the lab, Chris McDonough and Don, and they were going to have a frank and open discussion. But when Don got on panel, it didn't look like he knew anything about it, but he took it well. You've probably seen this clip. I'm going to play a minute or so of Don logging in.
I can't put him as a doctor. How did you do that? Uh-oh. Hey, Don. That's fucking impossible.
What's up, man?
Good to see you, man. Hi, Don. Hi, Candus. Good to hear you.
See if I can get some volume up on this damn phone. Oh my gosh, I can't hear nothing.
Can you hear now?
Yeah, we're here.
Great, good. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for making us about summer. Thank you, Chris. Yeah.
Hold the fuck up. Hold my fucking horses.
Right?
Hold
Welcome.
the fuck up.
Good to see you.
Holy crap. Good
Is that one of the apostles?
Too, wow.
How are you?
Wow. I'm all right. I'm all right.
Well, this is we haven't talked in how long?
A long time. Do what I asked you to do, please. Down low.
And
it's been a
everybody
long time. Down low. Turn up. This volume.
Sorry.
Freaking screwed up.
Sounds like you're still in West Hollywood.
He took it well. You know, he's had all this beef with Chris McDonough. If you know this story, Chris McDonough is supporting Jeannie and Mary. Jeannie is Don's stepsister, who was SA'd by Don when she was a little child. And he's admitted to this. I've made loads of videos about it. We're not going to reopen that today. So Don took it well, but Candus didn't. Candus was shouting and bawling, and I couldn't quite make out what she was saying. But she clearly does not want Don to talk to YouTube. And I've talked about this recently, that I can understand that. I can understand that, because you know, they've been talking to a lot of people, and I believe there are more people yet to come out. We've had quite a few now. You know, just check Ziggy's channel for the amount of different people who've come out. We've had Jenna, Dawn, Lynn, Prayer Garden. And then, you know, we've got the usuals. We've got Mr. and Mrs. Share, we've got Benny. We've got a multitude of people now that have been talking to Don Wells over the last 4 months. But yeah, I think there's going to be more people coming out who've probably got stories to tell that you may or may not believe, I may or may not believe. But as I've said consistently, somewhere amongst all of this is the truth, or at least a version of the truth that can help us in trying to find out what has happened to Summer Wells. Because she's forefronting all of this. All of these people that have been talking to the Wells, all of these people who, oh my God, that is raging. All of these people who, you know, have been told the same story, the script that they're keeping to, but also, you know, a range of inconsistencies that have been analysed again and again and again. Look, guys, right, we've got to accept that Don Wells is a blabbermouth. He's loose-lipped. And Candus knows that. So I can understand why Candus doesn't want people talking to Don, because they've been burnt. They've you know, taken people into their confidence and they've been burnt. And I'm a private person, Candus is a private person, and I can understand that. But it's the way they both behave that just leaves me exasperated. Candus kicks off like a 12-year-old, like she turned the music up when Don was talking, surely purposefully. Like a 12-year-old, like having a tantrum like a 12-year-old. You know, they can't sort anything out maturely. And Don going out drunk to get cigarettes, behaving like a teenager who's just got his licence. You know, and thinking, oh, I'm not going to get stopped, I'm not going to get pulled. Childish behaviour, and it infuriates me. I can't stand drunk drivers. I cannot stand them. I can't stand people driving dangerously or carelessly, because that's what killed one of my sons. So I've got, you know, a personal attachment to just finding drivers who drive dangerously, whether that's under the influence of alcohol or not. I find it disgusting. Now, anybody can make a slip while they're driving, but when you're driving under the influence, when you're driving when you know you're very tired, when you're driving when you know your vehicle's illegal, that's what I cannot stand, and I cannot absolutely condone it in any way, shape or form what Don has done. But Don is an addict. They've got the brains of teenagers, and they are both addicts. And all of this stress with Summer, and we might say, well, it's because, you know, the stress because Summer has got gone and they genuinely don't know what's happened to her, or they're stressed because they know exactly what's happened to her and the wheels are coming off. The wheels are coming off, guys. You know, sorry for that little joke there, but they're coming off. And quite frankly, let's get real, quite frankly, I do not care if Don and Candus drink themselves and drug themselves into oblivion. They're both adults, even though they act like kids. But for me, drink yourself into oblivion or get some help. It's one or the other. At this stage, your relationship's on the rocks. Your life is on the rocks. This should be the wake-up call for Don and Candus. Having their boys taken away from them because Don was drinking should have been the wake-up call. But right, they're stressed. Their life is falling apart. And addicts, as they are, they need help. But to get help, you have to want help. And I don't know. I'm 50-50 on this. I'm actually 60-40, more like. That I think Don and Candus won't get help. They won't want the help. They'll find it too difficult because they'll have to grow up to be able to deal with that level of addiction. I hope they do it. I do have sympathy with them because illness, you know, addiction is an illness, but they've got to want to change. They've got to want to get that help. And I can't see it happening anytime soon. So for me, the wheels are coming off. Drug yourself into oblivion for me. I don't care, because I'm here for one thing, and that is to find out what happened to little Summer Wells. Even if Summer isn't Don and Candus's main priority, it's mine being here, talking, shouting. I'm shouting through this storm because I want to know, and many other people who have covered this case want to know what happened to Summer Wells. So that brings me on to the latest theory. I talked about this in a video a couple of days ago, but I'm going to talk it through again because we've had a response from Jodie Sue. Jodie Sue is the neighbour who heard the scream. She lived at 125 Ben Hill Road, which is the property immediately across Ben Hill Road from the Wells. And she said she heard a scream that she believes was Summer. Although her daughter doesn't believe it was Summer, she believes it was kids playing. We've talked about this multiple times now on this channel. Not going to reopen that one, but it was between 4:30 and 4:42. Now, she's in support of Don and Candus. She does not want, blaming Don and Candus. She doesn't want that. So, and she's in the middle of all of this drama. And I have to try and put that aside when I play these two clips. So you're going to hear a little snippet from AB's channel. Credit to AB for this clip. And then, immediately after, you're going to hear Jodie Sue. I got this clip from What Big Eyes. Links to the 3 channels that I've clipped from are in the description box, as always.
Grandma distracted Candus long enough for this to happen. If you don't believe me, you wait another 2-3 weeks. Wait another 2-3 weeks. Tell me if what I'm telling you ain't true. But you cannot. All this bullshit about drugs this, drugs that, sold her for this, sold her for that, was renting her out in the shed. That's bullshit. All that's just a bunch of bullshit. What happened is Grandma saved that little girl's life.
I wish it were true. There's been not that particular internet theory. Oh, wouldn't that be a fucking dream, right? Somebody was a fucking hero and somebody took her to a better fucking life and whatever else, away from whatever supposed whatever the fuck. Because see, in order to buy that theory, you have to think, oh well, look, it was because. What did they fed you? They fed you this, awful that, Candus Dawn, Candus this, whatever the fuck, right? And I get it, and I know how it looks from public and everywhere else. I understand. But how good of a fairy tale would that be, right? Somebody that took Summer. And that she's okay somewhere. And she's not hurt. And, oh, fuck. How good of a fairy tale is that, right?
So the cynic in me will say that Jodie Sue has come forward because she's involved in this drama with 423 Chase and others. Whatever. I don't know, I don't care. Who's right and who's wrong, I don't care. But it stands to reason that Jodie Sue would say, no, this is not true. That Grandma is a hero and she saved Summer because Summer was being molested. So she had her kidnapped and taken. Now, Jodie Sue is right in that this theory has been out there almost since day one. I've heard it multiple times that Grandma, you know, has saved Summer from a life of abuse. Well, okay. Jodie Sue said, wouldn't that be great? You know, it's a fairy tale. And to be fair, I don't think it's true either. There's lots of theories. I've got my theory, which Chase directly addressed. I think that Summer was sold as a temporary transaction. As I said the other day, earlier in this case, I thought they'd permanently sold her, and I don't believe that now. I don't believe that now. I do believe Don and Candus are genuinely upset that Summer's gone, even though they don't or can't show it. I do believe there is that remorse there, and that's one of the reasons why they're now drinking themselves into oblivion. But my theory is that it was a temporary transaction that went wrong, and they don't know where Summer is now, but they can't say what their involvement was in it. That's my theory, and it is just a theory. But 423 Chase, when he was on that call with Tiffany Marie, and we can say, well, it was a private call and it should never have been released, and I understand that side of things. But he was talking as if he knew. He knew Summer was in Indiana. He knew. He didn't know exactly where she was, but he knew that Grandma was this hero. But it doesn't ring true to me. It doesn't ring true. And I'm going to have to go through and look at all of those Facebook Messenger posts that Grandma sent to Crime Stories Obsessed a while ago now. Because Grandma has been talking. It's not just Don and Candus that have been talking. It's Grandma as well. She's been talking behind the scenes, and I think there's probably more information to come out about what Grandma's been saying. Hello! Oh, girl! Oh, girl! Oh, God. I think there's more information to come out about what Grandma's been saying. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. But I'm going to have to go through and see whether there's any indicators at all of Grandma knowing exactly what happened to Summer. You know, I remember her saying that she thought Don had something to do with it. Well, those of you who believe this theory about Grandma being the hero are going to say, well, she's going to deflect away from herself and she's going to implicate Don. Well, that might be true. You see, because I've got my theory and I'm not wedded to it. Not wedded to it at all. If there was enough clarity and enough information to say actually Summer is alive and Summer is safe, then my theory, I'll chuck it in the middle of that pond, that temporary pond. I'll chuck it on the floor and stamp on it because I'm not wedded to it. I just think it's a theory that makes the most sense to me. But 423 Chase has a theory. So although it sounded like he was talking factually, it's my opinion that he wasn't. It's my opinion that it was his theory. And it's been out there since day one. And the fact that high-ups have told him, well, what high-ups? I just want more information. So if Summer is safe, give me the proof. As the title of this video says, if Summer is safe, give me the proof. Give me the proof. Simple as that. Because if Summer is safe, this can all be over. She can be turned over to law enforcement. She can be put in a safe place. She can be given the therapy and the love and the care that she needs. So if this theory is true, whoever is behind it needs to do the right thing and turn Summer over to law enforcement. But sadly, it's my opinion that this is the optimist theory. This is the theory that we all want to be true, because we all want Summer to be found safe. But I just don't know, you guys. I just don't know. And we've got to get real, and we've got to differentiate between fact and theory. Because if you don't differentiate between fact and theory very carefully, then we end up with situations like this where people get their hopes up. People get their hopes up and want to believe it. I hope it's true. I do. But I want the proof. So give me the proof. So that's all I've got to say for today. I hope you're doing well. I've been Michelle. Goodbye from Miss Tillington and Miss Cassie Springer. Bye, guys.